So I was just thinking again, I guess, reading more in regards to this. There seems to be sources that links the star of so-called David for sun worship. Um, and some also say it's in regards of Saturn, but as far as I would like to see more images with the Star of David from the past, so-called Star of David. Well, we know it's used in the occult for sure, but yeah. Um, so maybe we should just do like this. It's still pink. Okay. So yes, I was, one page was, it's typical, right? But it was actually talking about the number 666 and how, in regards of the where they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 36, and then you get the number 666, and that is connected with the sun god, and the sun god apparently was the god of all the other gods and all that bullshit. Pagan bullshit, right? But anyway, but then they go into, oh, but it couldn't have anything to do with the Antichrist and blah blah. You have to be careful because there's a lot of liars and deceivers out there that wants to deflect blame from the beast of the number 666, which is the number of a man. So anyway, so they go on to say, well, it's true that, this title of the Antichrist actually makes up the number 666, but, that's not, because you can't do that because, the Babylonians didn't do it like that, so it's not okay to do it like that. Oh, bullshit, you have to be kidding me. These deceivers and it's just incredible. Anyway, so you really have to be careful because a lot of people out there are trying to deflect the blame away from from the truth in regards of who the Bible is pointing to. Of course, that would be the Antichrist, the Roman Emperor, the Roman Caesar, the Roman King. Yep, the little horn that is on the beast, the Roman beast. Yes, it's Roman in nature, the little horn, right? Because it is on the Roman beast. Yeah, and it's here until Yeshua returns and, kicks this little horn into the lake of fire. But besides that, we also have the book of Revelation, right? The whore riding the beast, riding, in regards to the authority, in regards to the Antichrist, which is, the Pontifex Maximus, who is the high pagan priest of sun worship or solar worship. Yeah, and who would that be? Well, the triune tyrant. Yeah, the triune tyrant. The great stinking poop, that unholy faker. And his outmost smelliness, known by the world as the so-called Pope, Holy Father, blasphemy, blasphemy. And of course, His Holiness. Oh, what other outrageous bullshit. Proud as a pope, right? Yeah, proud as a stinking poop. Anyway, so we have sources here and there, and I'm just getting tired of people trying to deflect blame away from the truth. You have so many levels of pointing to this system of Roman Catholicism. Now, not only Roman Catholicism, but which is actually, Catholicism is universalism. I actually found a data point on that where it actually talked about. It actually goes back to Babylon, but I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, I'm not even sure where that information. I guess I lost it again. But anyway, so yeah. So let's see here. Trying to grasp my mind here, just keeping it. So we have symbols of, and they talking about the six-sided star was used by Babylonian astrologers for sun worship, solar worship, and they show the coin of the number 666 and all that, where and then draw a star inside of it, in regards to the hexagon. Inside the hexagon, if you take all the things, and well, just makes a star. But anyway, I have also seen where it actually is in regards of the hex or the star, the 6 pointed star. But yeah, I'm still, I would have liked to see more data points from the past. There must be more, more. Yeah, besides that but of course, in regards to the beast, we have the beast that is, that has Greek characteristics, it has Medo-Persian characteristics, and it has Babylonian characteristics. And one thing that I actually forgot in some sense is that, of course, it's Babylonian. It's in regards of the empire of Nebuchadnezzar. So, even if we don't have everything in regards of Sumeria or Shinaria, it would be in regards of the Babylonian Empire that we would see characteristics. Even having Babylonian characteristics in regards of coming from Shinaria or Sumeria, in regards of and might having evolved and so forward. But what we do see in the beast is characteristics from the Babylonian Empire, where Nebuchadnezzar is, the beginning ruler of the golden head. And then we have the silver, and then we have the bronze, and of course we have the iron, and then we have the iron clay, which I think we seem to be in at the moment. And I might be wrong, but the iron and clay, as far as I can see, might be the Western world and the Mohammedans. The old Roman Empire was divided into two. Half of it went to the Mohammedans, and the other half went to the, and it might be all controlled by one single man. Anyway, all roads leads to Rome. All roads leads to Rome. And, actually, there was more study in regards of the creation of Mohammedanism by Rome to use them as, to kill off the true Christians and all that. Which actually wouldn't be a surprise, because Rome, historically have, just done one wicked thing after another in regards to their political game of getting, progressing to the pinnacle point of power in this world. Yeah, and they are at it at the very moment as we speak. But, communism, Nazism, and the mafia, all these, Freemasonry, all roads leads to Rome, and Mohammedanism would not be a surprise either if it led to Rome either. But there's more information on that and more research that I could do on that. But yeah, it's this disgusting world we live in. Anyway, of course it fits the Bible as well, right? Because the dragon gave the dominion and power and rule to his puppet, to the beast of the number 666. Anyway, and the number 666 is the number of a man. Who could that possibly be? I have an idea. Maybe the very office and seat that every single Protestant pointed to, because they read that Bible, a new history, real, true history without being adulterated by Rome. Rome, your boat, Anyway, so it goes on to say the sum of the 6 columns, either horizontally or vertically, is 666. And this is talking about the magic square of the sun. And you can go look the magic square of the sun on Google, and you can see, yep, we have the 666, So 666 is a number associated with pagan sun worship, which originated in the mysteries of ancient pagan Babylon. Sun worship, which is really Satan worship, has existed for thousands of years and is still worshipped to this very day by Mystery Babylon. The Roman Catholic Church and the global elite in the world. And then it goes on, the Israelites worshipped the star of foreign gods and were punished for it. And then it goes on to, but what actually in regards of the information in regards of universalism, where did I read that? I guess I must have, just incredible. I was talking about universalism in regards to Roman Catholicism and linking that together. I don't know if that is, you really have to be careful because there's a lot of bullshitters out there as well. So you might be led astray and then figure out, oh, I was wrong, because there's liars out there and deceivers out there. And we really have to be careful. And the greatest enemy of truth is the Roman Catholic Church. Well, of course, they are promoting some truth, but, you really have to be careful. In regards to the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, yeah, that's pretty spot on. You're just forgetting the children of God, of course, but yeah, let's see here if we can actually find the Catholic thing here, where if it actually was the site that was kind of, this is from a Catholic source. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was actually the website that I tended to actually, might be some problems in regards to this, because they did try to soften it, right? Yeah, but in regards to counting 666, oh, you need to have these, you can't just do, calculate. They go to say, let's see, vicarious filii die math, gematria method using Roman numeral substitution for the letters of the title. And it goes up to grand total of 666. And then he says, some might argue that the title applies to the popes, and the popes claim to be God, so the title is the source of the number of the gods. But, remember that the Babylonians counted and then added the numbers of their gods. Oh, so now it doesn't work, Are you kidding me? Give me a break. So yeah. But you have this thing that, yes, it's true. Yeah, it actually goes up to the number 666. But it's not allowed. It's not. There's no go. Oh, give me a break. So this is the same thing with the tactics of Roman Catholics. And again, who knows if there's source. But where they're, yeah, but that's true. But. Also, but, yeah, it's true that Hitler was a Roman Catholic and he was in good standing with the church until his illegible death and all that. But, hey, there was no but, we didn't talk about any but, we didn't say, okay, you just said it, okay. Yeah, and then he go, but, was he Christian? Hey, the but doesn't, we didn't ask about if he was Christian. He was a Roman Catholic. That's not pretty much, we don't need to know if, he was a Roman Catholic. So he goes on to defend, it's just Roman pagan bullshit, I'm just so tired of these liars. I'm so tired. Oh, but the big but, right? The but, but was he really a Christian? We never, we never talked about that because he's a Roman Catholic. Whatever, just no one said he was a Christian at all. He was a Roman Catholic, right? So, why would we even think he was a Christian? It's just incredible. They're very slick. They're very, 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 very slick. And I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm utterly tired and growing old of the bullshit. That's just me. I'm just tired. I'm all this bullshit. No way. That's not going to go by my nose. Anyway, so he talks about, and I don't know because this is the site that is. But of course, you have to be careful when, there might be some useful things on these pages, but you have to be careful. It's the same thing when you read Roman Catholic material or the letters of Paul. They might be helpful, but you have to be able to discern. You have to take care. You have to be careful. You have to be on your toes. And Satan is a crafty, very crafty deceiver, and he should not by any means be underestimated. So anyway, the word, okay, here it goes. So he talks about the word Catholic, and I have no idea if I haven't, I have no idea if this is true or not, but coming from this website that, trying to, so we have to be careful. But he says the word Catholic means universal, so we know, yeah, that's true. That's true. It means universal. So at least again, we have, a thing that is, what shall we say, in agreement, something that, yeah, it's true, and originated with astrology rather than the Christian church. Vance, page 8. Of course, the 7 planets were considered to be of one line because the sun was the founder of the line and was the father of all the objects in the sky, including the 6 other planets and the other 35 gods. Thus, there was one sequence to the account that went from 1 to 36. So what he says, and I don't, I haven't gone deeper. It is the first time I've seen this. The word Catholic mean universal. That should already be enough. Universal. It's the, ecumenical bullshit. That is what it is. We see the ecumenical thing working down through the history. And distorting more and more and more of the truth and all that. And they're still, now they have the ecumenical movement. As far as I understand, the Jesuits are working the ecumenical movement. And they're trying to get the Protestants back under the wings of the Antichrist. And now it's not popular or political correct. Now, of course, I guess it's never been political correct to tell the truth, because the highest political power in the world is the Antichrist, right? So, but in any case, we can't even talk about who the Antichrist is, right? Because, the Roman Catholics don't, don't tolerate that, because they hate free speech, Actually, it's interesting in regards to the free religious, this, actually came, they didn't, there was no freedom of religion, when Roman Catholicism had the power. And then the Protestants came about, and then the Roman Catholics was whining and pushing for religious freedom, because the Protestants knew what the Roman Catholics was capable about, because they knew history and they knew the Bible, and they would not allow them to sit in government positions. All that pagan bullshit of the mass. They didn't. It was illegal, as I understand it, in the U.S. Nations, or the, what do you call it, colonies. There's a lot I don't know about in regards to these things, but yeah. So, and the same thing in Denmark, religious freedom, right? And what happened after we got religious freedom in Denmark? Oh, the Freemasons and the Roman Catholics, and hey, it goes, right? It's insane. And where are we heading? Well, we're heading for the New World Order with the Antichrist, and there will not be any religious freedom for the Christians, the real Christians, those standing for the truth in the Bible. Yep, there will be no religious freedom for those, because we don't tolerate that, right? We don't tolerate that. You just need to read and study, and you begin to see the nature of Roman Catholics, and you begin to learn more and more in regards to these wolves in sheep clothing. These people are the worst enemy, the most dangerous enemy for any Christian out there. Any Christian. It's not the Mohammedans. The Mohammedans are pretty clear stinking wolves. You can smell them miles away. Roman Catholics are much, much more dangerous. This is the masterpiece of Satan, And Protestants knew about this wicked system, and we do not know anything, because we're not told who the Antichrist is anymore, or told about this wicked system of Roman Catholicism. It's taken me a long, long time and I know there's a lot that I still have to learn. But, yeah, take care, you people out there, it's just incredible. They look like, they talk like Christians, right? They believe in a cookie. They believe in the Eucharist, their wafer God. It's bullshit. It's a false, it's worshiping Satan. They're worshipping a cookie. Yeah, they are allowed to worship the cookie. Yeah, it's idolatry. And they put it in this sunburst monstrance, a cookie looking like the sun, but, and of course, if we look back in pagan, it's all pagan bullshit, just the pagan Roman religion that have taken on upon herself, sheepskin, sheep clothing, making herself out to be something she's not. And then she proclaims, I'm the mother. Bullshit. The mother church was in Jerusalem. Well, if you're the mother of the whole. That's what you are. But the mother of Christianity, absolutely nonsense, absolutely no-go. The mother of mystery, Babylon the Great, the whore that rules over the kings of the world, Anyway, so, but he says the word Catholic means universal and originated with astrology rather than the Christian church. And that's Vance, page 8. I'm not sure Vance, I guess it's from some kind of a book. I guess he talks about that. Let's see here. I think there was something in regards of this. He talked about another book that he had read. And that's however, recently the author had time to investigate more carefully the book Trail of the Serpent by Merle Vance and discovered within its pages the description of the sum of the 36 gods was given back to the sun god. The solar god, the bullshit religion of. But he was talking about reading something and then he actually finds out in another book and all that. So that's from that book, apparently, on page 6, that the word Catholic means universal and originates with astrology rather than the Christian church. Now, I can't verify that, and I don't know if it's true or not. But of course, we know Catholic means universal, and thereby, it unlocks other things, of course. The Bible is just totally exposing this system on so many levels. It's incredible. And yet we do not know anything in our days. It's incredible how little we know today, We don't even know who the Antichrist is. And yet the Bible is exposing the whole system on so many levels. And yeah, incredible. So let's get back to the thing in regards of the 666, So we have in regards of, Solar Seal 1 and Solar Seal 2, and one of them that's actually the stars, two of the stars of David. And this is a newer coin, I guess. Let's see them together, then I'll, you see here. You can also find them on, on Google and all that. I'll. So these are the other things here, and actually you can see it's not so clear, but okay. The camera has a little problem. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but there is 2 stars of David's, and there we have the numbers pretty much. So it adds up to 666 twice. It's a little hard to see the Star of David. I'll take the other picture here. That should be able to see it, the Star of David. As you can see here. So this is the coin on one side. It actually says the name of Jehovah, which is the name of God. We have a solar cross, I guess, down there. All these symbols that the mystery religions are, But you can see the Star of David there, or so-called Star of David, twice on the pillars. And then we have something in the middle, looks like a sun head, I don't know. It's all pagan bullshit, All pagan vanity. And actually she stands, does that stand on a beast? Wasn't there something in regards to pig? Actually, there's 3 of the so-called stars of David, actually. There's also a sun symbol. I think this is, a lot of, if you go to alchemy, you can find a lot of in regards to these signs and all that. But anyways, pagan bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Like the papal bull, right? Bullshit, papal bullshit. Yep, maybe I should use the whole word, papal bullshit. Papal bullshit. No, papal bullshit. Maybe. Yeah, okay, whatever. So let's see here. What do we else have? Sun. Okay. Let's talk about this thing in regards to this. But again, it's called, the magic square of the sun, the solar deity. Again, it's just it's just one after another. Locking Roman Catholicism into being sun worship. You have the Mithraist, that goes into Roman Catholicism in the 4th century. You have Roman Catholicism making up Christ Mass in the 4th century, the same time where the Mithraist and the sun worshippers are having the pinnacle of their festival of the year. Yep, the festival for the birth of the sun god, sun deity, on the 25th December. The winter solstice. Give me a break. And Sunday was in regards of Mithra, and of course Mithra is just in regards of the solar deity, pagan bullshit, and the day of his was Sunday. Yes, Sunday, which is the first day of the week. So which day does the Roman Catholic Church keep so-called holy? Oh, isn't that Sunday? Oh, okay. Maybe it has something to do with, solar worship, and the cookie having something to do with solar worship and the sunburst around it, Maybe it has something to do, maybe because it's actually worship of the solar deity and not really the Jesus or Yeshua in the Bible. And yeah, it's not. Of course it would have to be pagan, right? Because they are not worshiping Yeshua. They are not following Yeshua. They are worshiping a cookie. And of course the Mary, Queen of Heaven bullshit and everlasting worship, everlasting virgin bullshit and all that. It's all pagan bullshit, right? Just incredible. Just one thing after another. And then the Pontifex Maximus, the high pagan priest of what? Of solar worship, sun worship. Mithra, Sol Invictus, Constantine was the high pagan priest of, the solar deity. And who has that title today? Well, the Pope has that title. Oh, what a coincidence. Oh, we have another coincidence. Oh yeah, Egyptian, erect, idol, gigantic idol penis in his front yard. Yeah, well, has anything to do with sun worship maybe? In a sun wheel and all that? Of course, they put a cross on top of it, so it's Christianized, Oh yeah, They don't even want to talk against it, at least not the Catholics that I've, talked about, Yeah, but there's a cross on top of it. Oh, that's okay. I guess that actually I've seen the cross on top of the monstrance as well. The sunburst around the cookie and all that. I guess they just Christianized pagan traditions. I guess that, but putting a cross on top of it, then everything is all right? Because that's the argument in regards of the penis standing in the front yard of the Antichrist, in regards of St. Peter's Square, I guess, maybe that's just, just put a cross on top of it and hey, it's Christianized, right? Yeah, that's pretty much how the Roman Catholic system works, Oh my, yeah. Just use some Christian names and this and that and all that, look like you're a Christian institution and all that, when you're actually the masterpiece of Satan, the most wicked cult in the entire world. Yep, that's Roman Catholicism. Yep. Yep. Anyway, And then, of course, we have, we have all these things interconnecting, right? You have Christ Mass as well. What is Christ Mass? Oh yeah, Christ Mass was in regards of, at the time of the birth of the Son, right? And where does it lead us? Let's Christ Mass of the Mass. Oh, the blasphemous Mass of the Roman Catholics. Is that what we're celebrating at Christ Mass? Oh, the cookie god. The pagan cookie god of the sun in regards of the birth of the sun. Yeah. Oh. We call it Yule in Denmark, actually. And Yule actually goes back to Yulna, and Yulna goes back to Odin. Yep, another pagan link. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Paganism everywhere. Ho, ho, ho. Oh yeah, by the way, ho, 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 right? As I understand it, in regards to sources, that goes back to Satan as well. Who says ho, ho, ho? Oh, that's Satan Claus, right? Oh, Satan Claus, that all you people are lying to your children, right? Ho, 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 yeah. Lying to your children about a guy that has godlike powers and, flying around and comes. There's so many pagan things in regards to this, And, that he doesn't come in by the door, but it comes, through the... Yeah, anyway, there's a lot of pagan... It's just full of pagan bullshit! And you're lying to your children, and you shouldn't really do that. And you shouldn't really keep Christ Mass either, or Yule, or whatever you want to call it. And but it's the spirit of Christ Mass, or the Yule spirit, yeah. Well, that Yule spirit is not really of the Bible, of the truth, right? Is it? The spirit of Christ Mass is lying and deceptions and drinking and whoring and, gambling and, oh yeah, and celebrating, the birth of the sun god, the solar deity and not God. Oh my. I don't think this spirit thing is actually of the Bible. Yeah. But anyway, whatever, you people, you don't listen anyway. You just love the lies, love the deceptions, right? Oh, it's so cozy, right? Then we have Easter as well, right? And Halloween and all the rest. Oh, the pagan New Year of Janus, right? Oh, they say, oh, Happy New Year, they say. Well, that's really not the New Year, Well, that's actually, we still have some month for the New Year, It's you're celebrating the Roman pagan New Year of Janus, of the false god of Janus, regards of January and all that, who has two heads, Well, are you kidding me? All these pagan traditions in this bullshit, yeah, but you can tell people about it, but they don't care. People don't care. That's the problem with our world. People don't care. People just don't care. It's incredible, one thing is to do and use a lot of, years to study these things and finding this out and that out and all that. And then you tell people, you serve it on a silver platter to them. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And some of them will say, yeah, I know that already, I know it's pagan. Okay, so it's pagan. Why are you keeping it then? Why are you continuing with this bullshit? It's just, it's just, whatever, One thing is not to know, another thing is to know and then just continue with the lie. And of course, you can just, you dig and dig and dig and find more and more and more bullshit, pretty much. All connect. By the way, Satan Claus, by the way, in regards to the clothing, right? Red and white, right? So if you actually find some of the images of the Antichrist, sometimes he's also red and white, Maybe there's a connection there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It seems like there's a lot of connections. I guess it's just all coincidence, I don't think so. I don't think so. But anyway, let's see. Now the amulets had to be as powerful as possible, So in order to increase its power, they arranged these numbers in such a way that the sum of any given row, column, or diagonal is 111. 111. And therefore, the sum of all 6 rows or all 6 columns was 666. Oh, this was supposed to provide extra protection, including from the god associated with the sun, since the god's sum was present in the amulet. Oh, what other bullshit. Note that any given column, row, or diagonal adds up to 111. The ancient Babylonians wrote these numbers out on small clay tablets, and after drying and baking it to make the writing permanent, they would hang it on a support and wear it around their neck. Origin and history of the number 666. Oh, that's from that web page and all that. But I would still be careful about that. If that was the page where he actually begins to defend, that it couldn't be that. It couldn't be in regards to the Antichrist. I saw another video where they actually was putting all these things out in regards of, the Antichrist and all that. And yet, even with all these goodies, they drag you in and all that. And then they always shouldn't be so, what was the word they used? What was it called? I can't even remember. We shouldn't be so, that it's, it could be something else and all that. Oh, really? It could be something else. Oh, really? Let's see if I can find it. But it had some good information, But then, we shouldn't be so dogmatic that the Antichrist is the Antichrist is the Antichrist, right? We shouldn't be so dogmatic. It might be something else, Even, they provide all this evidence and all that, in regards of pointing to the poop, the great stinking poop, and then they do it, Oh, but we shouldn't be so dogmatic about it. Oh, really? We shouldn't. Oh, we shouldn't stand on truth. Is that what you're telling me, Yeah, again, Satan has his, I don't know. Maybe, people are just, I don't know. But we also know that there's a lot of deceivers out there, working for Satan. So you really have to be careful. So now providing some good information and yet, doing that work where they try to, because then you get your, they get your confidence or whatever, They give you some goody stuff that, might very well be true. And then when you have like, as he's seeing him as a more of an authority, right? And all that. And then they come, then they bite, They are poisonous snake oil, Oh, well, incredible. You just really have to be careful. They might kill you, for standing for truth, because they think it's okay to kill people if because you're just a heretic, right? And because you're a heretic, it's okay to kill you, That's what they believe. It's okay to kill you, And of course, I am accursed multiple times by this very system, right? And Yeshua never said to curse anyone, did he? No, he said actually to bless, bless those that curse you, right? That was the idea of Yeshua, not to curse anyone, right? Of course, I wouldn't curse the Roman Catholics. But I would suggest them to come out of this system, this wicked system. If they're really, children of God, they should know that there's something wrong in this Roman Catholic system, and they should come out of it. That would be my suggestion. Any case. Come out of her, my people, says Yeshua. So if you are part of, a child of Jehovah, you should do what Yeshua says. Come out of her, my people. Get out of the bed of the hole, and run. Pretty much. Don't look back. Just run. Filthy system, filthy deception of Satan. A very, very demonic system, killers of souls, pretty much. Not only of the flesh, but also of souls. And this is horrible. I guess I don't have that many good words in regards of Romanism, Why would I have? This is a demonic system. So let's see here. So they talk about the six. Okay, this clay disc amulet became known as the sun seal or the solar seal. And the squares of the 36 gods became known as the magic squares. It was considered to be the most powerful magical amulet ever created because on this single disc all the Babylon's high deities were combined and represented through the number 666. You really have to give it to man how wicked we are, how we just, give over to Satan. I really don't understand why would we do this? This is just after the flood, and you already have paganism, going on, apparently, Already people making, being led astray by demons and all that. You have to be kidding me, just after the flood, Well, was it not enough to that God destroyed the whole world of the old, Are we going to run astray again? Yeah, apparently, and very quickly. It's just, you have to be kidding me, Why do we want to have all these lies and deceptions? Why do we love that? I don't understand it. I just really, really, really don't understand that. Why do we love the lies and deceptions? Or at least a lot of people do. I don't understand that. I really don't. Why would you love a lie and a deception? And why would you take part in it? Like Christmas. Oh, and Easter. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Easter, right? Egg-laying rabbits, or hares, that depends on, in regards of different places in the world. Do we have hares or rabbits? I think we actually have hares in Denmark, yeah. But yeah, I think in English you have egg-laying rabbits, right? So rabbits and hares, that's the difference, We have chocolate rabbits, right, man? And eggs, a lot of eggs. So what does eggs have anything to do with Passover? Chocolate eggs, and actually, we have some of, really, some of the candy are very, very, very tasty, right? It's yeah. How you have, what is it called in English, marzipan or whatever, I'm not sure what that's called in English, but chocolate and all that. Again, Satan is selling these festivals of his with candy and more candy, and the children loves it, and it's not so good for the health either. So, and of course Satan loves us not being so healthy, because then we. Anyway, I remember when I, asked this demon, in the past. Of course I didn't know it was a demon at that point, I guess it was kind of a familiar spirit or whatever you want to call it. They come in many disguises, these demons. They come as aliens, higher self, good gods and bad gods, as a dead family member, or ascended master, or, I did say higher self, right? In many, many different disguises these demons are coming in, It's just, they will do whatever they can to deceive you, they don't care how they do it, so as long as you're getting deceived pretty much. Well, I guess maybe they do care in regards of if they, I guess they want you to become part of the Roman Catholic bullshit system and all of that. So I guess they might do care in regards of that. But yeah, but overall, they just want you to be deceived, and not know the truth, and they, whatever direction it might take, it's a broad way that leads to destruction, and we are to follow the narrow road. Satan's candy store is huge, It has many, 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 many flavors, and you can pretty much mix it as you want. It does, Satan doesn't really care, because it's all his anyway. And as long as you're not talking about the truth, and as long as you're doing his will in regards of promoting all this bullshit of his, and you might even mix the Bible into it, right? That's a lot of people have a way of mixing the Bible in. I just saw another website with a woman in regards of the Star of David. and she talks about it and all that. And she even says that, Yeshua is Jehovah. And yet, on her page, she has astrology. She has laying down astrology thing, and what was like meditation, and all this pagan bullshit, all this pagan bullshit, and yet she's talking about the Bible as well, and even proclaiming that Yeshua is Jehovah. It's just and it's amazing how it's just incredible. So she even knows the name of Jehovah, and I think she also says Yeshua and not Jesus. So it's just incredible, and yet so much bullshit. Let's see, and actually, the symbol of the web page, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Well, it has the sun. Yeah, it has the sun. Yeah, the solar, the sun that is on the sky. Yeah, it's just hidden there in her name. Incredible, But regards of, she has of Taoism and tarot cards and yoga, all this pagan bullshit, Kundalini, and astrology, and she also has in regards of what is called this pagan. What's it called? ISIS book of, the ISIS book. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it's just incredible. You really have to be careful, really, really have to be careful. I don't understand, Sometimes people will use the Bible and twist it totally out of hand, It's even been used to promote the doctrine of drinking your own pee, I remember that because, when I was in the occult, doing stupid stuff and all that. It was one of the things that I ended up doing as well. I tried everything, I tried so many weird things, and there's more out there, but that was one of the things that I'm, it's, it's sad, The thing is, Satan takes you, he takes you further and further into this, but the Bible was used to promote that as well, And of course, you see spiritists, using the Bible and totally twisted out of hand, It's just incredible. It's just incredible. And there are so many versions of Yeshua out there as well. So many versions of Jesus or Yeshua. It's incredible, The Egyptian mystic version, the Guru version from India, the Druid version from England, the Ascended Master Jesus, the Son Jesus, and the Cookie Jesus, and the Only Prophet Jesus. That's the Mohammedans, by the way. Jesus, the enlightened person, like Buddha or Muhammad, which is bullshit and all that, but it's all bullshit pretty much. But it just goes on, Jesus the jinn or Jesus the mushroom, and psychedelic mushroom, and the list can just go on and on and on and on and on. Satan has filled the market with decoys, and then of course when you then figure out who Yeshua really is, according to the Bible, then the next thing in regards to the Antichrist, right? And he has his decoys as well out there. And I fell for at least one of them. And I don't know if I was, looking and, reading the Bible and all that, and, the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation and all that, and history, beginning to understand Protestant history and all that. It's the Pope. It's the so-called Pope that is the Antichrist. Every single man in that dynasty is the Antichrist. Oh yeah, but he looks so sweet, right? He's the Antichrist. What does Yeshua warn us about? Wolves in sheep clothing. And by the way, my lips are black, it seems. Well, I'm drinking coal, active coal and all that, so that's why. Yeps. There's not that much in it, but it's actually said to be helpful for the body take out trash, because apparently coal, or active coal, I guess coal works as well actually. I'm not sure what the difference actually is in regards of coal and active coal in regards of effectiveness, but apparently some are more effective than all. Also the active coal, have different degrees of effectiveness. It functions as it's sucking the impurities that shouldn't be in the body into it. So it doesn't take the nutrition away. It only takes, if you're taking medicine, this will take, out the medicine, pretty much, So, or if you're poisoned and all that, that should help in regards of being, taking it out. Whatever, I'm trying it out at the moment. It doesn't really taste of, anything, It's actually surprising that it doesn't taste bad, actually. It just, it's a little crunchy, between your teeth and all that, and getting a little black teeth as well. But, who cares about that, That's just visual, right? Some say you actually can whiten your teeth. I haven't done. Anyway. So it goes on to say the Israelites worship the star. Okay, let's see. Okay, so 666 is a number associated with pagan sun worship, solar worship, which originated in the mysteries of ancient pagan Babylon. Sun worship, which is really Satan worship, has existed for thousands of years and is still worshipped to this very day by Mystery Babylon, the Roman Catholic Church, and the global elite in the world. Yeah. I can't really say much to that, against that. It's just because, the Roman Catholic Church is just the Roman mystery religion with sheep clothing on. You see, the whore rides all the 7 heads of the beast, She was there from the very beginning, It's Rome. But she was already there. Pontifex Maximus, as I understand, was actually already there at the second king, according to Wikipedia anyway. The second king gave the instructions to the Pontifex Maximus, the second king. So that would be in regards to the first head of the beast, And 5 have been in the time of John, and then you have the 6, which is the Caesars or the emperors. And I guess, Caesar was the first dictator pretty much, as I understand it. I might be wrong, but Roman history is not my greatest. But then after the 6th head, there's the dukes, I think. I think that was the dukes, and they were just there for a short while, for a short time. As the Bible says, they are only there for a short time. And then the 8, which is one of the 7, is the beast itself. Now that's the papacy. That's the poopacy, pretty much. They call it papacy, but this is the poopacy, stinking poopacy. And that's, of course, being one of the 7, that must be number 6. So he's one of the 7, which would be number 6, and that's the beast itself. So he would be an emperor. He's also proclaiming himself Caesar. He's emperor, the Roman king, and so forward. So he would be, not only a duke, so the duke doesn't work. No, he would be of the 6, the 6th head of the 7 heads. And you have to remember, the whore, the harlot, is sitting on all the 7 heads. So she's already there. All the 7 heads, and she's a city. She's the great city that rules over the kings of the world. Which city is that? That's Rome, 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 your boat. And yep. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, she just took sheep clothing. She's still the same pagan whore. Pagan harlot. So let's see. The Israelites worshipped the star of a foreign gods and were punished for it. Israel adopted the 6-pointed star in the wilderness due to the apostasy. The mark of Cain was worshipped. I don't know about that, because we don't know what the mark of Cain was. So that's, Well, it says the mark of Cain was worshipped by the Israelites in the wilderness as the star of Remphan, which represents the god Satan, also called Shion. And in regards of Amos 5:26, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Shion, your image, the star of your God, which ye made to yourself. That's Amos 5:26. But I don't know, in regards to the mark of Cain, I wouldn't prescribe to that. I don't think we have any evidence for that. At least he would need to bring some evidence on the table for that, because we, as far as I understand, we don't know what the mark of Cain was, but anyway, just before being stoned to death by the Jews, Stephen accused the Jewish leaders, and you took up the tent of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, the figures which you made in order to worship them, Acts 7:43. So yeah, that's something in regards of this star thing and all that, but I don't have enough information to. We know in regards of our days that Jews are into Jewish mysticism, which you have the Shekinah, that is the so-called consort of God and all that bullshit. They have Kabbalah, and so they're pretty much straight. Well, of course it is expected, because they turned away from the truth in regards of Yeshua HaMashiach, the King and God, who actually created Israel in the first place. But they hated him, and even proclaiming that they love God, they hated his son, which is also Jehovah. So Jehovah sent Jehovah into the world, the Son. The Father sent the Son, and they hated the Son. And they even proclaim they love God, right? And Yeshua says, you're the father of the devil, and the devil's deeds you will do. And of course they executed him. And he said, in regards of breaking the law, why are you all breaking the law of Moses? Why do you want to kill me? It's like he's talking about, the law of Moses, and in regards of them breaking the law of Moses because they want to kill him. So yeah. Satan got Solomon to worship him through. Okay, so Satan worship is Satan worship. Well, everything, whatever you worship that is not God is worship of the devil. Again, it's the broad way that leads to destruction. It is it's the big candy store, with many flavors and all that. You have to go by the narrow road, that leads to everlasting life, and drop this broad road that leads to destruction. Let's see here. So it says Satan worship is Satan worship. Satan worship is Satan worship. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you worship. If you're worshiping a tree, you're worshiping Satan. If you're worshiping an image, an idol, or whatever, and you're the earth or angels or whatever, you're worshiping Satan. You're giving worship to Satan and not to God. So anyway, Satan got Solomon to worship him through false gods. After his marriage to Pharaoh's daughter in 1922 BC, Solomon gave himself up to witchcraft and idolatry and built altars to Moloch, Ashtaroth, and Remphan. And Ashtaroth, as I understand, is just Easter, and Easter is Inanna, so that's the Queen of Heaven. I'm not sure what they actually. I know the Bible have the Queen of Heaven someplace, but I do wonder if they actually named the Queen of Heaven in regards of what. Let's see here. Searching. Queen of Heaven. Queen. I don't know if I can actually do an exact, Queen of Heaven. I'm not sure if I can find it directly like that. Let's see. Yep. Nope. I misspelled it. Now I can't even get it. Okay. Queen. No, that's not true. Okay. Queen. Two E's. Okay. Queen of Heaven. Let's try that. No, there we go. So Jeremiah, the children gather wood and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead that dough. In regards of kneading, the Jews are actually kneading that dough, right? You just look at the bread that they're making, they're kneading that dough. Now, I don't know if that's, but, kneading that dough, seems like there might be some, regards of pagan, By the way, to make cakes, to the Queen of Heaven. So they're kneading that dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. In regards to drink offerings, this is something that was pretty normal in the past, apparently. Also the Romans had, it's called something. There's a special word for it, which I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much an offering to the gods, right? You're the false gods, the demons. In regards of. But anyway, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our mouth to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals. I'm not sure, victuals. Yeah, bread and food and grain, actually, bread, okay, victuals, I don't know why they, and were well and saw no evil. It's just, they're just telling it outright what the Jews were doing, and God didn't like it, and God was long suffering in regards to them to turn back to him. Here we go again. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wandered all things. We have wandered all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. You have to be kidding me. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven, and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? ? Thus, so this is where Jehovah interfere here. Thus says Jehovah of hosts, the gods, plural actually, of Israel, saying, Ye and your wife have both spoken with your mouth and fulfilled with your hand, saying, We will surely perform our vows, and we have vowed to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. And of course, I think they're in Egypt at this point. They have been thrown out of Israel at that point, and are in Egypt. And but I do wonder in regards to the Queen of Heaven if one can actually fix it in regards of Ashtaroth, because Queen of Heaven would be Inanna, and Inanna is Easter, and Easter is, as far as I understand it, Ashtaroth. And if Ashtaroth is the Queen of Heaven, this Queen of Heaven that Jeremiah or Yirmiyahu is talking about might actually be, or did I just close my, I closed it down apparently. Then it actually might just be, I lost the information apparently. Where did we go in regards of, I think I've lost the link now. That was bad. What happened? I pushed something on the computer, and I must have done something, so we closed it down, sadly. Because what was we talking about? We were talking about the Jews and this and that, and yeah, where's that link? I lost it. I think I lost it. Do we have like history or something like that? Maybe I can. This is incredible. How could I lose that? Bullshit. Did I push anything in regards of closing it down? Apparently, I must have done something. I guess we're also getting low on battery and all that. Was this actually the? No, this is another web page, isn't it? Israel. Let's see. We're talking about Israel, and yeah, that's no good. Good question. I don't know where it went. Just sitting here, and then I push something, and then apparently I can't find it again. That's great. Well, that's not great. No, that's not great. Oh, there we go. Okay, I found it. Oh, yeah, okay. Apparently, okay. There we go. Oh, wonderful. So, Ashtaroth. Oh, yeah, that was because I wanted to search on Ashtaroth. Ishtar and and Ishtar, Inanna, Inanna. I think it's the same. Starter is also the same as I remember. I think, in the Hebrew there was something in regards to where they put in something in the word itself. So Astarte is actually Astaroth. That was I can't remember the information on that. That was some good information on that Astarte. I think in Hebrew, or maybe that was something in regards of a word in the Hebrew where you see two different words, which actually is the same, but that the Jews, might have put something in the name to show that this is, a no-go, so they changed the name a little in regards of the real Hebrew name because, pointing out that this is. But I can't remember all the details about it, but that was interesting for sure too. Anyway, let's see here. Astarte is the Hellenized form of the Middle Eastern goddess Astaroth. Northwest Semitic, so Astaroth might be Astaroth, that is anyway. Form of Easter worship from the Bronze Age and classical antiquity. Sorry, the native is particularly associated with her worship in the ancient Levant among the Canaanites and Phoenicians. She was also celebrated in Egypt following the importation of Levantine cults there. The name Astarte is sometimes also applied to her cults in Mesopotamian cultures like Assyria and Babylonian. But as I understand, it's actually in regards of Ishtar, so. Yeah, the masculine, that she is recorded in Akkadian as Adurtu, okay. A star within a circle indicating the planet Venus, yeah. And of course, who is Inanna in regards of planet? Well, the planet Venus. So that's at least a link here. And known as the morning and evening star and all that, yeah. I think we pretty much... Astarte was worshipped in Syria and Canaan, beginning in the first millennium BC, and was first mentioned in the text from Ugarit. She came from the same Semitic origins as the Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar, and an Agoritic text specifically equates her with Ishtar. Her worship spread to Cyprus, where she may have been merged with the ancient Cypriot goddess. It's just all this pagan bullshit and all that. But anyway, it's, so this Queen of Heaven might just be in regards of Easter, which is also known as the Queen of Heaven, which is Inanna, going back to Mesopotamian or Sumerian or Sumerian. So let's see here. So after his marriage to Pharaoh's daughter in 1922 BC, Solomon gave himself up to witchcraft and idolatry and built altars to Moloch, Astaroth, and Ramphon, the ancient Egyptian star god. This is very significant because Solomon was a man of wisdom who was allowed to build the temple of God. And actually God showed himself to him at least twice, if I remember correctly, and yet he's straying away. Who was allowed to build the temple of God, yet late in his life, Satan caused him to worship and build altars to false gods, and used the hexagram to invoke the powers of Satan. I don't think we have any proof of the thing in regards of using the hexagram to... It says King Solomon reintroduced the 6-pointed star to the kingdom of Israel, so the talisman of Saturn became known as the seal of Solomon. I don't know about that. I guess the Jews might have information on that from their, their Talmuds or whatever, So I don't know, but actually that's interesting. There's a bowl in the middle, and of course the bowl is. We see the story in regards of Shamash, which is the sun god, and he's coming in regards to this story as a bull. So it's just interesting that it's just a bowl in the middle, maybe pointing to sun worship, I don't know. But they say it's Saturn worship here. I have to wonder. And then looking at the image, it looks like it's the sun, not Satan or Saturn that has this. I might be wrong. Who knows? But it looks like the sun, and then you have the planets around it, right? And the sun is in the middle, and that's the biggest one of these. Which would make sense in regards of looking up at the sky. Which one is the biggest one in the sky? The sun, right? And the moon. Well, the sun and the moon. The moon is also pretty big. I guess. I wonder if the moon is actually bigger than the sun, or the sun bigger than the moon. Actually, no, wait. They actually have the same size, right? On the horizon, because we have where the moon actually goes, in front of the sun, and then you can, and then mathematically that apparently just fits, I think it was designed, by the way, because there's something in regards to the moon actually moving away from the Earth, and of course the sun also should get smaller and smaller, right? So maybe the mathematically thing, fixes, that they're, that they have this exact, it's interesting, right? What is the, it's incredible actually to think about that the moon just covers the sun exactly like, it's just incredible. So I guess they're actually the same size when we look up on the sky. Now, of course, the moon would be smaller than the sun, in regards of, but, that's the moon is closer to Earth and all that. I guess you get the point, right? It's a lot smaller than the sun, but the sun is long, further away. So, it's talk about they talk about the Saturn and all that. But I do wonder if this, I think actually the same webpage they actually talk about actually being, the six-sided star was used by Babylonian astrologers for sun worship. So I already have told that this six-sided star is actually used for, worship of the sun. Well, so I'm not sure why Saturn is coming into this as well. But, yeah. Then they talk about the 666 in the star itself and all that. I've seen that a couple of times where, I have 6 and 6 and 6. We're running low on power. So maybe I should just stop it now. Yeah, 5%. But overall, just pagan bullshit, lots of pagan bullshit. I have to be careful about that. Anyway, may Jehovah bless you and be with you, and Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and don't let go of him when you find him, because Satan will try to take him away from you. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. Have a good one, all of you. I'll stop here. No one is going to see it anyway, right? Yeah. Usually not.